this is going to be a tutorial for my heart turtle. It is all no sew except the head. You want to sew on the head. So we're going to start with the flippers here and the tail. So grab whatever color you want to use for the flippers and the tail, and we'll get started. I'm using a 5mm hook. I used Baby Bear for this one, and I'm going to use Posh for this tutorial. So the stitches are very easy to see for you guys. You need a pair of scissors, you need a stitch marker, you need a yarn needle, you'll need some polyfill, and some eyes. I did embroidery for my eyes, and then I used a little bit of pink to embellish for some blush here. All right, let's get started. So for the front legs, you're going to make two. We're going to start with a magic ring, and there is a magic ring tutorial linked within the pattern if you need help. So we're going to do 8 single crochets in your magic circle. Oops, let me take off my watch. It counts my steps if I'm crocheting, so I try to keep it off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And pull your magic circle tight. And I had full intentions of making this a written pattern and putting it on my Etsy, but we got some crazy Florida snow and we got a bunch of sickness in the household. So this was kind of a quicker, because I can do it all in one span and I don't have to worry about testers and whatnot looking at the pattern. Okay, so now we're going to increase in every stitch for 16 total stitches. So it's putting 2 single crochets in every stitch, and I like to crochet over my tail a little bit. As you can see, I did knot it. And oh, let's put our stitch marker in. And this pattern was going to have quite a few videos in it anyways, so I just said, screw it, let's just make it a YouTube video. Okay, so 2 in every stitch around, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so for round 3, you're going to do 1 single crochet and then increase for a total of 24 stitches. So 1 single crochet, increase, and keep doing that all the way around and ensure you have 24 stitches. Okay, now that you have 24 stitches, remove your stitch marker, and we're actually going to fold this in half like a little taco, and we're going to single crochet across. So I like to go ahead and go into that first single crochet before I fold it, and then you kind of have to pull back to get that one that you just made. So, and then it'll be easier after that. So just single crochet all the way across, grabbing both sides, making a little taco. And you should have 12. And when you finish this, repeat and make one other flipper. And then we will make the other flippers. Sorry, these are the back flippers we're making because they're smaller. I had it backwards on my thing. I had it written down. So these will be the back flippers because they will be smaller. All right, and we're going to make the other set of flippers the same way. I like to chain one and then pass it off. You don't need a long tail because we're going to crochet these into place. So I just leave a little tail. But you can go ahead and hide this tail if you want. Okay, for the front ones, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to do a 4th round. So we're going to start with 8 single crochets in our magic circle. So 1, oops, getting too excited. 2, 3, I like to close my circle a little bit when I'm going around. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then pull your circle shut. I like to knot mine and then crochet it over a little bit just so I don't have to worry about sewing it in. I'd knot twice out of habit and fear and panic a little bit, but you don't have to do that. All right, and now on round 2 we're going to increase all the way around. So again, 2 single crochets in every stitch around, and you'll have 16. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so for round 3 we are going to single crochet increase all the way around. So mark that first stitch, and I just started using pretty stitch markers before which I still do. I use bobby pins, so we don't gotta be fancy. Use what you got. You can also use strips of yarn. If I'm making something with a lot of rounds, I'll use a piece of yarn. You can move a little bit quicker. Okay, I will meet you back. Okay, so you should have 24 stitches after round 3. And round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochets. So 1, mark that first stitch. 2, 3, 4, 2 single crochets, increase all the way around, and you should have 32. Okay, so now that we are done, we have our 32 stitches, and we're going to fold it in half like we did the other one, and single crochet across, and then this time we should have 16. So go ahead and make your taco single crocheting across. And I will meet you back. Okay, so now we're going to be making the tail. We're going to do 6 single crochets into a magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, pull that tight. One of my dogs is having puppy dreams. If you can hear that or not, I don't know. All right, give that a knot. And okay. Always knot it now because now we can crochet over it. So now we're going to do 2 rounds of 6 single crochets. So just keep going around. So we'll count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around. Yeah, let's cut off this tail here. All right, so then we're gonna do one more round of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna fold it in half, single crochet across. So grab that first one and then that last one, and this time you should have 3, and then fasten off, and we're also going to crochet this one into place. Okay, so you should have 2 of each and your tail here, and now we will get started on the turtle shell. This is where it gets a little bit spicy, and then we'll do the head last because we're going to sew that on anyways. Okay, so you're going to grab your heart color and your shell color. We're going to start with the heart color because we're going to start with this heart here, and then we're going to work on the shell. You can do different color hearts. I chose to just do it all the same to keep it uniform, but you can do whatever you want. You could do each heart different colors if your heart desires. So we're going to start with a magic circle. All of the heart stitches are going to go inside a magic circle. If you need help with your magic circle, I do have a slowed down video linked within the pattern you're welcome to check out. So what you're going to do, you got your magic circle. Now we're going to chain one. We're going to do 1 double crochet. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochets. And I like to slowly close my circle as I'm working. That way it's not a lot at the end and you're less likely to break your yarn because you're putting a lot in this magic circle. And single crochet, and then we're going to do a mini picot stitch. So just chain 1, and then we have this back bump here, right here. We're going to slip stitch into that. So you have your first 2, your other stitches, 1, 2, that's the front of the chain, and this is the back of the chain. So right there, we're going to slip stitch into that, and it's just going to give us a little point with our heart. And I like to just pull it over. I don't know why I do that. I just do it. I don't know. And then we're going to repeat the same stitches on the other side. So we're going to do a single crochet. I'm going to pull my circle a little bit more. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochets. 1, 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet. And then we're going to do a chain 2. So chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into the circle. Before I slip into the circle, I'm going to see if I can pull it anymore. And then we're going to slip stitch. So if you like the way your heart looks, go ahead and like pull up a little bit there. So this is what it should look like. And we're actually going to fasten off our pink yarn here. And then we'll want to pull it tight. So there we are. Got my scissors here and leave a little bit of a tail. We're going to basically pull it through the circle, the center of the magic circle, and tie a knot. Okie dokie. And then if you want to, you can pull your magic circle a little bit. We'll have time to later. Okay. And then now we're going to put our hook from the front to the back. And we're going to get our red yarn or our shell color. We're going to just like make a loop just like this and pull through the center. And then I'm just going to move that other tail out of the way. We'll pull it all through the center. And then we're just going to chain 1. And then basically just pull this red tight. And you see how it kind of decreased there. And we'll be able to hide it later. Now we're going to be using the 3rd loops to start our shell. So we have the front of our chains here. We're going to use the 3rd loops here. So these ones back here. So you're going to do 12 stitches around the 3rd loops of all your stitches. You're going to skip your picot stitch though. So that's 1. And the ones that are mainly hard to get are going to be those single crochets. That's 1, maybe 2. On those chain stitches, you'll most likely be grabbing those back bumps. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. 5. And then that single crochet should be your 6th one. And like I said, you have your front and back loop, and then your third loop is back here. So a little hard on this single crochet to get. especially after that double crochet is easier. And honestly, if you cannot get it, you can use your back loop. It's not the end of the world, because we're going to be going inside around again the heart. So I have 6, and now we're going to skip these 2 for the mini picot, and we're going to go back into that single crochet again. That's 6, 7, 8. Those half doubles are super easy to find. 9, 10, and then 11, 12 should be your chain stitches. 11, 12. And that second chain on the second time we did it around is going to be a little bit harder to find as well. And if you can't get it, you can always take your like yarn needle and kind of pull up a little bit, and it makes it a little bit easier to get your hook in there. Okay, so now just double check and make sure you have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that first little chain bit we did when we pulled up the loop, ignore that. And let's go ahead and pull this pink tail through the circle and get it out of the way. There we go. And we're going to tie all these at the end. So there we go. And we can go ahead and work the next round, and then we're going to come back to the heart. So let's do the next round, which is 1 single crochet and an increase. So 1 single crochet, and I'm going to use my stitch markers here. I am testing out, I made my own stitch marker. Thought it was cute. Anyhow, and now I'm going to do an increase, and that'll give us 18 stitches. So we're going to do that all the way around. 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, excuse me, increase, 1 single crochet, increase, oops, increase. I have polyfill all over this. There we go. And then last one, 1 single crochet, increase. Okay, now kind of just, might want to pull up a loop, that way you just don't accidentally pull it out. Now leave your red or your shell color, just keep it close by, don't cut it off or anything. And now we're going to make our heart more prominent. So we're gonna basically make it raised. If you don't want to do that, just keep on chugging along with the shell. But I like to add a little bit more, and that way you don't see this as much and it makes it more prominent. So grab your pink, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this first chain here, we're basically just going to single crochet all the way around. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just try to make sure. So this first chain here, you're going to put a slip stitch on your hook, and pull up. I did mine a little too tight. There we go. So pull up, and then, oh my goodness, there. I had an extra loop under there somehow. Okay, pull up. Chain is, there we go. Chain can be a little hard to work into. So chain 1, and then we're just going to single crochet all the way to the picot stitch, and we're going to skip that again. So just single crochet all the way around. And pull up a little yarn here, and now we're at the mini picot stitch. Yes, so we're going to actually go into each side. So go into that first side, and then we're gonna do a chain 1 picot stitch. So slip stitch into that back bump, and then we're gonna go into the other side of the picot stitch. So those can be a little bit hard to get into, and then we're just gonna keep single crocheting all the way around. And if you want to add like an increase or something like that at the top, you can do that. And now we have this chain stitch. And if you don't have both loops here, like my other loop is kind of hard to find, just go in whatever loop you can find. It's not the end of the world. Okay. And then now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to cut it off, leave a little bit of a tail because we're going to pull it through the center. And then now we're going to, I don't know why this is the only yarn needle I have right here. This is not a good yarn needle for this, but we'll make it work. So pull your tails through the center. So both sides, the starting tail and the ending tail. And then you should have your heart. So just kind of tug at all your tails here. Okay, there you have it. If you don't like the way it looks, you can add a extra increase over here and it'll give it a little bit more oomph. And then now we're going to basically just tie all these together. It really doesn't matter what you tie where, just start tying them together. And I'm going to do double knots. I'm just kind of tying them all together first. And then double knot them, and then you will go back and continue working on your shell. Okay, so for the third round of the turtle, you should have everything knotted here. We are going to do, sorry, this is technically the fourth round. We are going to do 2 single crochets and then increase, and this is a different day, so here's my cheap stitch marker. So 1, 2, and then increase, and then do that all the way around, and you should have 24 stitches. Okay, so for round 5, we're going to continue increasing, and we're going to do 3 single crochet and then an increase for a total of 30 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, increase, and keep going all the way around, and I will meet you back. Okay, and for round 6, we're going to do 4 single crochets and then an increase. And then we will begin, so 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and I will meet you back, and we will begin putting in the hearts. Okay, so this round we're going to be adding our heart color. So actually do a color change. So in that last stitch, pull it out a little bit and pull up. Now I've lost the, okay, here we go. Pull up your heart color, and I have frogged this, so now I have a mess of yarn in front of me, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, so this is going to be your first stitch. We are going to put 3 half double crochets in that first stitch. So, and then you're going to change colors on the last half double crochet back to your red. And then I like to just pull that tight. This is going to be the top of your heart. So now we're going to do 1 single crochet, but do not complete it because we're going to switch back to the heart color and go ahead and pull that tight too. And do 3 more half double crochets. and this will be our first heart. We're going to switch colors on the third half double crochet, and then we will do 3 single crochets and then repeat that sequence all the way around. So if you want to mark this first one, you can, just for peace of mind. It's pretty simple when you get back to there. You're at the beginning, but okay, let me untangle my mess here and we'll do the next one together. Okay, so I shouldn't have completed this third single crochet. We're going to pull up our heart color and we're going to do 3 half double crochets, switching color on the third one. And one of the times I've made the turtle, I was able to keep my yarn from getting tangled, but I'm already working with a tangled mess, so you may be able to figure it out. You kind of have to, it's the way you switch colors. So 1 single crochet, pull up, then 3 half doubles. And I think if you do yarn under, your color changes may be a little cleaner. Don't quote me on that. I can never remember to yarn under every time. So switching color on that third one. I can never remember to yarn under, so it looks okay right now, but when we start adding in the other rounds, you're going to be able to see your color changes, and I can show you at the end how to clean it up. You just take, you know, a spare scrap of yarn, you use your yarn needle and kind of clean up the edges. If you want to experiment with yarning under and making one and see if the color changes look a little better, you can do that. I always forget, so that's on me. Okay, and now we're going to do 3 single crochets, and that'll be our second. And on the third single crochet, we will switch colors. Let's do 3 half doubles. 1, 2, 3. Switch colors. Oh my gosh, now we're really getting in a mess here. One single crochet, switching colors, 3 half double, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to pause and untangle some yarn, so I'll be right back. If you want to go ahead and continue around, well, I mean, it's gonna be a second for you guys, but anywho. Okay, so now we just did our 3 half doubles, do a single crochet. Oh, sorry. So we're going to do 3 single crochets. It's really easy to kind of get going and mess up. I've done it a couple times, not even noticing. So now we're back and doing 3 half doubles. 1, 2, 3. And yes, I still have a yarn mess. It's better, but it's still connected to the skeins, so it is a disaster. And now we're going to yarn our new color in and do a single crochet, changing colors, doing another 3 half doubles, and then now we will do the 3 single crochets. And you should have a total of 6, so you should be able to do 2 more, and then I will meet you back here. Okay, so for round 8, we are going to do our color change with our last stitch from the previous round. And then now in this first stitch, we're going to do a decrease. So I like to grab just the front loops of both stitches, pull my yarn through both of them, and then yarn over again and pull through. And that is an invisible decrease. And we're going to do that all the way around. So a decrease, a single crochet, and then we're going to increase in the red stitch in the middle. And then we're going to do another single crochet, and then a decrease. And then we're going to color change back to red. and we have our heart starting to form. And then we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. We're going to color change on the last one. And we're going to start with a decrease using those front loops. Then we're going to single crochet, increase, single crochet, decrease, oops, and now switch back to your shell color and do 3 more single crochets. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. I will have it written on the screen so you can just pause it and refer back to the screen if you need to. And I will meet you back. And you should have 6. I should have said that before we started. So make sure you have 6 and make sure you only have 1 single crochet between the 2 pieces here. Okay, so now we are going to switch colors again on our last stitch from our previous round. And we are going to do 3 decreases in a row. So let's do 1, and once again it's an invisible decrease, so grab just those front loops. So decrease, decrease, decrease. So you should be decreasing in all of your heart colors. And then we are going to switch back to red, and then we will do an increase in this first stitch, and then a single crochet, and then an increase. So let's do that together one more time. So get your heart color and let's do a decrease, decrease, and a decrease for a total of 3. Grab your shell color and let's do an increase, increase, single crochet, increase. And once again, it'll be up on the screen if you want to pause the video and finish up. I will meet you back at the beginning, and we're almost done. We have one more round for the hearts, so it should start looking heartish like that. Okay, for round 10 we are going to start with our heart color, so go ahead and pull back if you need to and yarn over with your yarn color. I keep forgetting to tell you guys to do that ahead of time, and I apologize. So we're going to single crochet 3 together. So how we're going to do that is yarn under and pull up the front loops of the next 3 stitches, and those should all be your heart stitches. You're going to yarn over, pull your heart color through all 3 front loops, and then we're going to go back to red. So now you need to do your color change. So pull up your red, and then we're going to go, it's kind of hard because it's easy to want to go here, but we're going to go back into the red. So just remind yourself we're going to the red, red to red, and we're going to single crochet 5. So if you can do that first one a little tight, it'll kind of help pull your heart in the right direction. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to color change. And how I've been keeping my stuff from getting knotted is my red is my top color, so I've just been pulling my red over here when I color change, and then I'm pulling the pink under. So just pull one up and one under, and continuing doing that the whole time, and you won't have a tangled mess. I have a tangled mess because I frogged my work very chaotically. Okay, so now we'll go back to the heart. We're going to single crochet 3 together. So pull up the front loops, 2, 3, yarn over and pull up pull your yarn through, Now we're going to pull up our red, and now we're going to single crochet 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my baby just woke up, so I am trying to do this while he's playing behind me in his little baby gym. So hopefully we can get this done before he starts crying. So if you hear a little cooing, that's the baby. Okay, so now continue that all the way around. You're gonna basically do the bottom, finish off your hearts. And we will kind of make them look a little bit better because it looks like one side is fuller than the other, but you're gonna kind of pull up the stitches with the yarn needle here in a minute. Okay, so now we're gonna join the flippers and the tail, and we will start with 5 single crochets. And I don't know if I said this, but my baby woke up and he's chilling in his little play gym behind me. He's 3 months old, so we're gonna try and get this done before he cries. So 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and okay, so we are going to add the first leg now, and this is going to be the head of our turtle, is going to be where the hump of the hearts is. And so the goal is to try and like line up this heart with the head. Just get it sewed on straight. I sewed mine on a little bit crooked, but that's okay. And so you want the fins facing, like the curve facing the head. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to start with my first single crochet going in the 4th. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here. So I'm going to put my hook through that and then move the hair out of the way. And then I'm going to go through this first stitch here and go through the turtle and then just single crochet as normal. And then you're going to kind of go 1 stitch over. It doesn't exactly matter where you go, just in the middle of this fin here, and then go through your shell. And then we're going to do that one more time. It does get a little bit awkward, and then I like to go on this kind of this last one here and then through the shell again. Sorry, I'm like 3 months postpartum and my hair is falling out. It's everywhere. Okay, so that's how it should look, like this. And obviously sew your tail in. I'm just being lazy. We'll do that later. Let's see. And then after that, we're going to single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to grab the back fin and do the same way, but we're only going to use 2 stitches to connect this one. And you also want it to face it forward. So we're going to take it and the good side goes down. And I'm going to go in the 3rd one for this. So go through the fin and then you go through the turtle for 1, and then I'm just going to go like right in the middle here and go through the fin and go through the turtle. And just, if you don't like how it lays, go ahead and just like redo it. And then we are going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3. And now let's grab our tail and do the same thing. Tail is easier. Pick which side you like better and then put that other side down. So I feel like I like this side better. I don't know. So I'm going to put the good side down. I'm going to go through the tail and then go through the body. And if you have a tail still, you can throw that in the inside. Go through the tail, go through the shell, go through the tail, go through the shell. And that actually pretty much centers that tail on a heart, so I think that's better than my other one. Okay, and then now we are going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, grab the other smaller fin, and now it's kind of the opposite, so because now the head's up here, so we're going to face the good part down, and I'm going to start back here. There really is no like proper way to attach these. I just go somewhere in the middle so they're not floppy. So wherever you want to stick your hook into, just stick it into the body part first and then into the shell. And then we'll go grab this outside one to the shell. And then now we're going to single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness. Let's grab our last foot. And once again, our stitch marker is the head, so have that facing forward. And you want the good side facing down. I know I keep repeating myself, but just in case. And we're gonna attach with 3 stitches. So 1, and this, since this is on the opposite side, you're gonna start in the middle of the fin, like right here, and then do another one, and then you'll go in the 4th one. So I'm actually gonna go 1 stitch lower, because if we're gonna go in that 4th one there, I'm gonna go like right there. And they don't have to be perfect, you know? So attach with 3, 1. I like I said, there's not a method. I just pick one and go. All right, 3, and then you should have 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And my heart is not laying as nicely as my baby blanket yarn, baby bear, because this yarn's a little stiffer. So let's see. It's better. Okie dokie. Alrighty, so this is where we're going to attach the head later, and it probably will be off-centered a little bit with this heart. Like, it'd be nice if it lined up. It actually might. We'll see. All right, and then now it gets easy again. So in this first round, so you should have 36 stitches after joining everything. You shouldn't have decreased or anything. We are going to do 4 single crochets, and then we will do a decrease and continue with those invisible decreases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease, and I will meet you back. Round 13, you should have 30 stitches now. We're going to single crochet 3 and then do a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, let's decrease, and then continue that all the way around. Round 14, and you should have 24 stitches, and we're going to decrease down to 18 stitches. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, a second single crochet, and then a decrease, and just do that all the way around. And if you want to start stuffing after this round, you can go ahead and start doing so, and we'll continue to stuff as we close the turtle up. Okay, I went ahead and started stuffing. I got stuffing everywhere. And when we get a little bit closer, you'll want to stuff and kind of push down so the top of your turtle isn't pointy. You can see how this one lays a little flat. This yarn is not quite as stiff, so it will lay a little flatter naturally than this yarn, or if you're using something like Burnett Blanket. This is Baby Bear by Big Twist. Okay, anyhow, we will do 1 single crochet and then decrease all the way around, and that'll leave us with 12 stitches, and I'll meet you back. Okay, and for the last round, if you don't have much stuffing in there, I would go ahead and stuff a lot more. I need to go get some stuffing, but we're going to decrease down to 6 stitches so the hole will get pretty small. So just decrease all the way around with no single crochets in between, and that'll be 6 decreases here. And then fully stuff, and then we will close the hole. So I'm going to meet you back for the closing because I need to go grab some stuffing. Okay, so to close your turtle, make sure it's fully stuffed, and really stuff and, like I said, push down so it's not so pointy up here, because the increases are a little weird up here due to how we did the hearts. So take your yarn needle. I finally got my good one. This one has like a little curved piece on it. I can put these in the description, the link to it. I really like these for the chunky yarn because the big hole, and then they have the curve, which is super nice, and they're metal so they don't break. Okay, so I like to go on the outside loops of all of them, and it makes a nice flat closure, sorry. All right, and then I take, so from here I kind of put my yarn under and then like down here, and oh boy, pulled out a lot of stuffing, and then I kind of just kind of weave it through a couple times in a couple different areas, and I find somewhere good, and I'm gonna knot it here because you can see this little bit of yarn right here, and if I put a knot here it'll be hidden. I'll be able to hide it and tuck it. So continue to just weave your tail, and then yeah, see, you can't tell I have a knot in there, and that's pretty good. So I'll cut it off here, and then I'll just use my scissors and stab and push it down. And now let's get the head. Okay, so set your turtle aside and grab whatever color you're using for the head. I'm going to use green, not red. So let me grab my green yarn and do a magic circle. And let's put 8 single crochets into that magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, pull it closed. I'm going to knot, and we're gonna increase all the way around for a total of 16 stitches. So 1, 2, let's mark our first stitch and continue increasing all the way around, and I'll meet you back. Okay, and then for the third round, we're gonna do 1 single crochet and then an increase all the way around, and that'll give us 24 stitches. So 1, and then an increase, 1, oops, going too fast, 1, and then an increase, and continue to do that all the way around, and that'll give you 24 stitches. Okay, and then for, let's see, I think it's the next 2 rounds. Yes, for the next 2 rounds, do 24 single crochet a round. So just 1 single crochet in every stitch for 24 stitches for 2 rounds, and then I will meet you back. Okay, so I totally lied. We're gonna do 1 more round of 24 stitches around, and then we will start decreasing. So go ahead and do 1 more and then meet me back. Okay, and for now, for round 7, we will do 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So do that all the way around, and then I'll bring you down to 18 stitches. Okay, for round 8 of the head, we're going to do 1 single crochet and a decrease. We're gonna do that all the way around, and that'll bring us down to 12 stitches. So do that all the way around and I'll meet you back. Okay, so that will be the last round. You're going to, I like to chain 1. That's how I tie off. And then I will cut a good bit of yarn because that's how we're gonna sew the head on with our tail. And now you'd want to add eyes. I do embroidery, so I'm going to do that after I get the head onto the body. And so if you use safety eyes, go ahead and put those on, and then stuff. I don't use safety eyes at all, so I don't have any recommendations on size because I know nothing about safety eyes. So if you make it and you want to put what size you used in the comments, that would be super helpful. I can pin a couple or pin a comment if someone wants to have put on there what they used. Okie dokie. So, and you can stuff it more once we start sewing it onto the head. But let's get our yarn needle. And it should be, we should be able to center it right, you know, right where our heart is. As you can see, let's see, maybe we need to back up a little bit. It's a little bit better. And oops, I just turned on my computer. My goal is going to be kind of center this over this heart here. And if a little bit pokes through, it'll be okay. And then once you get it almost closed, you can stuff in more stuffing if you need to, if you don't like the shape of it. So I'm going to begin at the, let's see, I'm going to do it at the bottom. Anyway, honestly, it's going to depend on where you put your eyes. If you're embroidering, then you don't, you know, you have a little bit easier of a time. You don't have to worry about centering your head. But I'm going to start on the same row as the bottom of the heart here. And my goal is going to be to cover this heart, because this heart should be pretty close to center, because this is the center of the heart. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and a tad bit extra, just because that's how it lined up doing the spiral. So if you can do it a little bit towards the side that has more, then you should be pretty well centered there. And let's use, I'm going to use this bobby pin because I don't have anything else right now, but a lot of people use yarn needles. Not yarn needles, or knitting needles. I got one right here, actually, to hold their heads in place. So I'm going to do that while they sew. So, let's see, make sure we like it. And mine's not going to be perfectly centered over this heart here. So yours may not be either. Okay. So I think I like that. We're just going to sew all the way around. And there's many ways to sew heads on. I'm just going to loop through the body and then loop through the head. You may have an easier technique. Do it however you normally sew on parts. And then, yeah, I'll meet you back. And we can look at our finished plushies, and I can show you how to make these hearts look a little bit better. Okay, so if you would like to clean up your hearts, I will show you how right now. And I did eye embroidery. I do have a tutorial how to do embroidered eyes just for this little simple right here. I know there's a ton of ways to do it, and some people like to add color. I typically just go with this and call it good. I have that linked in the description and you can find it on my channel. Okay, so you're gonna want some scrap yarn or cut off a good bit of yarn for your shell color and your heart color, because we're gonna do, on this side we're gonna use the heart color and on this side we're gonna use the shell color. So I'm gonna start with pink because I had some sitting near me, and I'm gonna pull my yarn up from the bottom, and I have quite a bit here because this was scrap yarn, so I'm just gonna pull, we'll leave like about that much so I can knot it at the end. And what you're gonna do, and just be careful, you're probably gonna pull a little bit of stuffing out, so you have to pull that out. You're just gonna go over, like this is what is showing right here. I'm gonna go under this pink stitch here and get around the flipper there. You do not have to do this by any means. If you like the way yours looks, then just keep it as is. And you can do this with all kinds of plushies where you have color changes. So now we're gonna do the same thing here. And I try to make it not look super obvious. So you can go in like the same direction, which this heart is kind of diagonal, but you can see I'm just kind of going over that red part there. And you may have to go over some areas twice depending on how much color is showing. And this is scrap yarn, so hopefully I don't have any. Oh my goodness, how on earth? Okay, I don't know how that happened. Okay, and you can see I need to go back down right here. So I'm gonna go like under, so I don't go and ruin the stitches here. I'm just gonna pull it all the way under. So I'm gonna stick it all the way through back here and come out right above where I need to cover up. And this, I mean, this really won't take too long if you want to do it. Maybe another, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. So, I mean, I guess it depends on what you're doing with the plushie. If you want to clean up the lines. If you need to do, this right here can be a little finicky. Sometimes you can pull up the stitches around them and fluff it up a little bit and kind of hide it a little better, but you can totally do it right here as well. This one, for whatever reason, I must have been a little looser, looks pretty good. I don't really need to go over there. But yeah, that's how you do that. And then you'll do the same thing with red. So my red's still attached, so I'm just going to do what I need for this heart here. And I'm going to do the same thing, start from the bottom. And this one's a little tougher because of this foot. You know what, I'm going to go right here. I'm just going to go a little sideways. And this can take a little practice. Just don't want to make it too thick, like thicker than your other stitches, and make it super obvious. I'm going to have to go down to the bottom again. Let's go above right here. Let's see if we can get it with this. I hope I'm not off camera here. I think I'll go one more. And then I'm going to come out down here because I want to get this a little bit better. Okay. And then come out the same hole at the bottom so you can knot your ends together. And you definitely don't need that much. Okay, so there you go. And then, like I said earlier, you can kind of poof up this other side. Do the same thing over here. So you'll go from this to this. So All right, thank you guys so much for watching my tutorial. I hope you love your little Valentine's heart. And I will see you in the next one. I'm going to try and have some vlogs and a few more tutorials coming up soon. Things are taking a lot longer these days because a toddler and a baby take up most of my time. But all right. Don't forget to like this video, comment how it went for you, and if you made any, or if you put on safety eyes, please comment what size you use so others can use it as a reference, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, bye!